It's been a few months now since America's catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan, which gifted a murderous crew of gangsters, otherwise known as the Taliban, a mineral and resource-rich country, complete with billions of quid's worth of allied helicopters, fighter jets, night vision goggles, uniforms, tanks, radar devices and artillery. At the time, I said Joe Biden is one of the most dangerous men in the world because that catastrophic exit on his watch from Afghanistan created a new international headquarters for terror and handed the likes of China a key strategic advantage in the Middle East. Chinese soldiers moved in just days after our departure. I cannot work out what is worse, Joe Biden's profound lack of judgment or his poor state of cognitive health. He's either a fool or foolish or both. Here's old mastermind himself in action.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
I'm just so confused. Well, in his latest foreign policy howler, the leader of the free world may have accidentally started World War III by announcing that Putin cannot stay in power. Here's what he said.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. God bless you all, and may God defend our freedom, and may God protect our troops.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Joe Biden there calling for regime change. Yeah, the Americans, they don't have the best history when it comes to regime change, do they? Remember Saddam Hussein and those weapons of mass destruction? How's that working out for you? Seriously, regime change? Joe Biden couldn't change his underpants, let alone a foreign government. These comments are just about the most dangerous diplomatic moment in the war so far. Don't take my word for it. After these seemingly improvised remarks, the White House quickly denied what he had to say. Here they are. They said this is not official government policy. They disowned what he had to say. What a farce. So the White House spokesperson contradicts the words of the president who leads the country and resides in the White House. Wow. Joe Biden is, in my view, the most dangerous figure to occupy the White House in living memory. These unguarded and seemingly unscripted remarks have set America up for a protracted battle of attrition with Russia, and they have potentially sowed the seeds of a devastating global conflict. Let's hope not. Donald Trump, meanwhile, was apparently such a terrible human being and the worst president ever, we're told, even though he famously reached out to tyrants like Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin. Now, I was no fan of Trump's by any means, but at least his brain was on and he didn't start a single war. Meanwhile, we've got Joe Biden, this lovely, caring, sharing, mask-wearing incumbent, the world's first woke president, seemingly hell-bent on creating the biggest human conflict in history. Did you know that he campaigned hard for the Iraq war back in the day? Actions speak louder than words. These most recent comments were inept, dangerous and wrong. Politics is all about the art of compromise. With Putin already scaling back his appalling invasion of Ukraine, and with Russian generals being mown down by mutinying soldiers, and with thousands of Russians already killed and tanks and planes blown up, it's official, folks. We've got Vladimir on the ropes. He's not quite on the canvas. The referee isn't counting to 10 just yet. But the Ukrainians have drawn blood, and the winning belt has got Zelensky's name written all over it. It doesn't help, therefore, that the leader of the free world unnecessarily stabs the hornet's nest and provokes Vladimir Putin into what we all fear most, which is a nothing-to-lose strategy. If this conflict becomes about Putin's very survival and not just his imperialistic ambitions for his country, the guy will go down kicking and screaming, and he'll take everyone with him. Loathsome though he is, if Vladimir Putin still has a stake in the future, he's more likely to sit around the negotiating table. You know, one of those massive tables of which he is so fond. You know what they say, big desk, small ego. Apparently DFS have had a run on those massive tables. in their sale, obviously. Our smart Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss, has won plaudits for so many things. Her bonanza of post-Brexit trade deals, the release of Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe after 6 long years, and her judicious but firm tone in the course of this conflict. In today's Sunday Telegraph, she handed the monster Putin an olive branch. That's right, she's going for carrot as well as stick. I do wish that Biden would stick it. The tone-deaf and probably actually deaf Joe Biden has launched a cack-handed attack, seemingly unaware of how this may irritate Putin. Now, who cares about that? I don't. But it may also embolden him to fight on, and it may harden support for the Russian leader back home. If this becomes America versus Russia, with America seemingly intent on installing a replacement to Putin, this would be the greatest rallying cry that a Russian president could ever dream of. The slogan would write itself. Who do you want running Russia? Putin or old Uncle Sam, old Sleepy Joe? In spite of his incredible military courage, Winston Churchill was famous for coining the phrase, jaw, jaw, not war, war. Now, in my view, an end to this nightmare in Ukraine can only be achieved via negotiation, perhaps with Ukraine committing to never joining NATO, conceding certain territories to the Russians, and providing enough concessions with which to ensure that this ends, that it doesn't happen again, and allows old Vladimir to go back to the Russian people claiming victory. In reality, of course, it would be a hollow one. Appalling monster though he is, and though it pains me to give this guy anything, in my view, the West must provide Vladimir Putin with a gold-plated, diamond-encrusted ladder with which to climb down. President Biden's ill-considered comments undermine the war effort in Ukraine and the extraordinary courage of its own people. These comments will make matters worse, creating an enemy around which Putin and his supporters can unite. Joe Biden probably won't apologise for these comments or withdraw them, because I doubt he remembers saying them in the first place. This is a guy who can't remember what he's had for breakfast and who walks into a room wondering what he went in there for, like every time he steps into the Oval Office. Well, he's walked into it big time on this occasion. Joe Biden is not fit for high office, and his poor cognitive health is a clear and present danger, not just to America, but to the free world. What's the next gaffe going to be? We are collective hostages to fortune of this man's next unscripted outburst. He shouldn't be president and should never have been. He should be sat at home with a cup of tea, eating soft biscuits, wearing comfortable shoes, sucking on a Werther's original and watching reruns of the Golden Girls, who look like energetic teenagers compared to him. There's no way Biden can make it to the next election. But what adds insult to injury is if he goes, which he should, here is the alternative.
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, I can first.
What a shame that America can't have a vote of no confidence in the way that our parliament can here. Can Biden be impeached on mental health grounds? They should consider it. I hope the American people remember what a grave mistake they made in 2020. And let's hope we're all around for the next one in 2024. Having a good president is not just critical for America, it's critical for the world. And this disastrous 2-year flirtation with old magic grandpa has proved to be a disaster. Sleepy Joe is a no-ho-ho, and he's got to go.